Tinubu has finally spoken on the Nnamdi Kanu matter, and what he said is not what many people were expecting. Please like this video right now and subscribe to this channel because this discussion is very important and you need clear and correct updates, not emotional noise. What many supporters were waiting for was a strong political statement, something direct, something bold, something that clearly says what will happen next. But what came instead is a careful position, a position that focuses on the law, a position that centers on the courts, and that is where the shock is coming from for many people. Let us slow it down so everybody understands. Nnamdi Kanu was convicted and sentenced by the court. After that conviction, his legal team filed an appeal. That means the case has moved to a higher court for review. In simple English, the matter is still active inside the judicial system. It is not closed, it is not finished, it is still under legal process. Now here is where Tinubu's silence became a topic. For some time, many supporters expected the president to step in directly and announce a political solution. Some believed he would use executive powers immediately. Some believed there would be a negotiation. Others believed there would be a quick pardon. But what has been communicated from the presidency side is something more cautious. The courts must complete their process. Please like this video and subscribe because what I am explaining now is very important. Many people mix emotion with law, but governance works differently. When a case is in court, especially after a conviction and an appeal, the leaders often avoid statements that may look like interference. That does not always mean they do not care. It often means they are protecting the system from being questioned. And this is where many IPOB supporters feel surprised. They expected urgency. They expected immediate political action. Instead, they are hearing about due process. Now let us look at the political side calmly. This issue is bigger than one individual. It has become symbolic. For supporters, it represents identity, fairness, and justice. For the government, it represents national unity, security concerns, and legal authority. When two strong emotions meet like this, leadership becomes very careful. Tinubu is also managing many national matters at the same time: economic reforms, security across different regions, international relationships, and domestic stability. Any decision taken on this issue will have wide reactions across the country. That is why the message has remained measured. Now listen carefully. There are two possible lanes here. Lane one is purely legal. The appeal goes forward. Lawyers argue their points. Judges review the conviction. The court decides whether to uphold, reduce, or overturn the sentence. That path takes time. It follows procedure. It avoids political noise. Lane two is political engagement. That can involve dialogue, mediation, reconciliation talks, or executive options within constitutional limits. But such moves are sensitive. They require timing. They require balance. So when people say Tinubu breaks silence, what they are reacting to is the reality that the presidency is not rushing into a dramatic political announcement. So the stance has remained careful and law-focused. Please like this video and subscribe because this is where clarity matters most. Now let us address something very important. Many online platforms use strong headlines to create emotion. Words like shock, explosion, massive reaction are used to attract attention. But when you check the substance, the real story is often more structured and less dramatic. The truth is this: the case is in the appeal stage. Political pressure continues from different leaders and traditional voices. But the presidency is maintaining that the legal process must move forward. This is the core of the situation. Now, what should viewers pay attention to next? First, watch the appeal proceedings. Court dates and legal arguments will shape the next chapter. That is where concrete movement will happen. Second, watch for official statements, not screenshots, not edited clips, not rumors. Only verified channels matter. Third, observe the tone in the Southeast. Stability and calm often open space for dialogue. Tension reduces room for compromise. Let me speak it clearly to supporters. It is normal to feel frustrated when progress seems slow, But national decisions move differently from online debates. Leaders calculate impact. They consider security. They consider legal implications. They consider international perception. At the same time, it is also fair for citizens to demand transparency and fairness. That is part of democracy. Calm advocacy is stronger than emotional reaction. Please like this video and subscribe again because we will continue to follow this case carefully and responsibly. Now let us imagine possible outcomes. Explained in simple English. One possible outcome is that the appeal court reviews the conviction and upholds it. That means the sentence remains. Another possible outcome is that the appeal court modifies parts of the judgment. That could reduce the sentence or order a retrial. Another possibility, though less common, is a full overturning of the conviction. Outside the courtroom, there is also the possibility of dialogue-based solutions. But those require careful groundwork and national agreement. So what did Tinubu truly communicate through his position? He communicated caution. He communicated reliance on legal procedure. He communicated that governance must follow structure. For supporters who expected immediate executive action, that feels like a surprise. For others who believe strongly in institutional process, it feels consistent. That is the real story behind the headline. Please like this video and subscribe so that you always receive balanced and understandable updates. Now let me ask you directly, do you believe the legal process alone should decide everything? Or do you believe there should be a political intervention? Think carefully before answering. This issue affects national unity, public emotion, and long-term stability. The important thing now is patience and verified information. Emotional reactions may trend online, but structured developments happen inside institutions. As this appeal moves forward, tension may rise or calm may increase depending on how communication is handled. Responsible reporting matters. Calm analysis matters. And that is why this platform exists, to break down complex national matters into simple, clear understanding for everyone. Please like this video and subscribe again because the next updates will be crucial